Hi everyone, my name is Mike and today we're going to take a look at another horrible case. In 1988, Heather, Hodges and Ignacio Garraus meet and party while attending the University of Northern Colorado. Ignacio was a friendly guy with a great personality, and he immediately caught Heather's attention. It was love at first sight for both of them. Heather had a fun personality with a bit of innocence about her. She was beautiful, with pale skin, red lips, and dark hair. Ignacio found Heather enchanting and even referred to her as his Snow White. After Ignacio asked Heather out on their first date, she was excited and immediately shared the news with her roommates. They celebrated her newfound happiness. Heather's friends were thrilled for her because she hadn't really dated before, and they believed this date could be the start of something special. Heather and Oso's relationship quickly blossomed into something more serious. Ignacio was attentive, always surprising Heather with her favorite flowers or coffee. His thoughtfulness and consideration made Heather feel loved and appreciated. After graduating from the University of Northern Colorado, Ignacio decided to take their relationship to the next level. He proposed to Heather, and she happily accepted his proposal. However, there was one condition that Heather attached to their engagement. If Ignacio ever chatted on Heather, she would immediately end their marriage, regardless of any apologies or attempts to make amends. This stipulation was a deal breaker for Heather, and she made it clear that she would not tolerate infidelity. Heather and Ignacio married within 1 year of their engagement, and it was a beautiful and joyous occasion. Ignacio became a law enforcement officer at the Great Colorado Police Department, and Heather worked as a supervisor at the local credit union in town. Heather's colleagues and customers at the credit union admired her greatly. She was known for her exceptional skills in providing comfort to the credit union members when there were issues. One co-worker even described Heather as wonderful all the way around. 5 years into Heather and Ignacio's marriage, they decided to expand their family. Heather ultimately gave birth to a beautiful baby girl, Victoria. Becoming a mother brought Heather joy, and her entire world revolved around her new daughter. Ignacio too proved to be an outstanding father. From the outside, Heather and Oso's life appeared to be perfect. In 1997, Heather's father passed away from a heart attack. This tragic event was followed by an even more devastating blow just a few days later when Heather's mother was diagnosed with cancer. Determined to be dedicated daughter, Heather dedicated herself to taking care of her ailing mother over the next several years. She selflessly provided care and support to her mother, who died in 2003. Ignacio proved to be a loving husband and father and helped out more with the couple's daughter, Victoria, and around the house. However, after months of supporting Heather through her grief, Ignacio started to turn his attention to a co-worker, Shawna Nelson, a dispatcher at the Gray Police Department. In 2004, she was married to a Wells County Sheriff's deputy named Ken. Shawna and Ken had 2 children, but their marriage was on the rocks. Ken later said things changed between him and Shawna after Shawna returned to work after the birth of their second child. Shawna and Oso's relationship started as friendly and turned into something more. They began exchanging flirtations, comments, and engaging in playful banter. Shawna's compliments caught Ignacio's attention, and she captivated him. Over time, Ignacio's interest grew deeper, and he spent a lot of time with Shawna. Their connections became more than just friendly, and they began to form a deeper emotional bond. As they continued to see each other, the intensity of their feelings grew. Their emotions shifted from playful flirtation to something more passionate and intimate. Despite their marital status, they found themselves unable to resist the pull of their attraction. Ignacio and Shawna's relationship was the talk of the town, but Heather remained oblivious to the affair. Despite everyone being aware of the situation, no one felt comfortable disclosing the truth to Heather. As a result, Shawna and Ignacio's relationships intensified while Heather remained in the dark. Shawna found out she was pregnant and excitedly shared the news with Ignacio. However, Ignacio did not take the news well and started to question whether the baby was, in fact, his and not Shawna's husband, Ken's. Shawna assured Ignacio that her husband had a vasectomy after their second child, eliminating the possibility of Ken being the father of the child. Knowing that he would be facing serious consequences if Heather found out about Shawna's pregnancy, Ignacio became nervous. He did not want this baby and desperately sought a solution. With Shawna's agreement, he convinced her to terminate the pregnancy and drew her to the procedure. As months and years passed, Heather remained oblivious to her husband's affair with Shawna. However, as time went on, Shawna became impatient and decided to confront Heather. One day, she followed Heather to the grocery store, accompanied by her best friend and partner in crime, Michelle Moore. Shawna and Michelle followed Heather discreetly around the store, observing her every move. Heather, oblivious to their presence, engaged in a conversation with a friend on her phone. Eventually, Shawna approached Heather in the store and unleashed a tirade of insults and accusations. She called Heather names and hurtful words at her. The incident at the grocery store left Heather deeply shaken. She decided it was time to confront Ignacio, as she recognized Shawna from his work Christmas parties and knew she was his co-worker at the police department. When Heather asked Ignacio why Shawna, who had always been nice to her, would confront her in the grocery store, spewing nasty words, Ignacio explained to Heather that Shawna had a crush on him, but that Heather had nothing to worry about. Ignacio told Heather he would tell Shawna to stop bothering her. He confronted Shawna and told her to leave Heather alone, and Shawna got very angry with him. However, Shawna did not stop harassing Heather. One time, Shawna showed up at Heather and Ignacio's house, demanding to see Ignacio, although Heather didn't want to think there was something more between the relationship of her husband and his co-worker. She couldn't help but wonder what he was really up to. Shawna confided in one person at the county dispatch center about the affair she was having with Ignacio. She expressed the feeling for Ignacio, stating she was in love with him more than anyone else she had ever met. However, Shawna else expressed her frustration that Heather, Oso's wife, stood in the way of their relationship. According to this supervisor, Shawna revealed that she went to the shooting range to relieve her frustrations. While shooting at the targets, Shawna would pretend they were Heather. Despite Shawna and Oso's years-long affair, Ken, Shawna's husband, had no idea what was going on until he read Shawna's journal, which detailed her relationship with Ignacio. Wanting to stay together for the sake of their children, Ken did not leave Shawna when he found out about her chatting. Shawna was not the only person Ignacio was having an affair with, as Shawna herself was aware of. Ignacio's relationship with another woman. This knowledge prompted Shawna to keep Ignacio on a short leash, as she was determined to maintain her position as the sole woman in his life. She threatened to tell Heather everything if he ever left her. Her obsession with Ignacio was growing stronger. In July 2005, Shawna took a step further to solidify her place in Oso's life when she got a tattoo on her leg with his family name. Shawna had developed an unhealthy obsession with Ignacio, and it began to escalate to the point where she started stalking him. If Heather and Ignacio decided to take their daughter Victoria to a restaurant, Shawna and her family would make sure to show up. Ignacio could tell that Shawna's behavior was becoming increasingly concerning, but he continued to engage in an affair with her. When Shawna found out she was pregnant with Oso's baby a second time, she told him there was no way she was ending the pregnancy. She wanted this baby. In March 2006, Shawna gave birth to her and Oso's son, Christian. Because Shawna was still married to Ken, and Osa's wife had no idea he had a baby with his co-worker. Ken offered to raise Christian as his if Shawna would stay married to him, and she agreed. During the summer of 2006, while Heather was out on day, a woman approached her with shocking news. The woman informed Heather that Shawna Nelson had given birth to Osa's baby. This revelation left Heather in disbelief and confusion. Upon returning home, Heather confronted Ignacio about the child, demanding answers. Ignacio once again lied to his wife, attempting to cancel his affair with Shawna, and Heather continued to believe in Ignacio. One night in December 2006, Heather woke up to find Ignacio missing. She sat up and waited for him to get home. When Ignacio finally returned, Heather wasted no time in confronting him. Instead of lying like he had in the past, Ignacio made a choice to tell Heather the truth. Ignacio admitted to Heather that he had been out with Shawna that night. He went on to disclose that the affair had been going on for years, unbeknownst to her. Additionally, Ignacio told her about Shawna's 2 pregnancies and that she had recently given birth to his son. After Ignacio confused his affair with Shawna to Heather, she followed through on what she had said she would do if Ignacio cheated. She ended their relationship and kicked him out of the house. However, Heather's strong desire to keep her family intact led her to call Ignacio back the next day. Despite Heather's initial disbelief and anger, she did not want to break up the family and feared that Victoria would be raised in a broken home. When Heather spoke to Ignacio, she let him know that she knew he was in love with her and that she loved him back. Heather expressed her desire to keep their marriage intact and said she did not intend to file for divorce. However, Heather made it clear that she was not ready to jump back into their marriage immediately. Instead, Heather presented Ignacio with several conditions to be fulfilled before considering taking him back. One of the conditions was that Ignacio needed to get an STD test. In addition to getting an STD test, Heather also recommended that Ignacio see a counselor. She believed that counseling could help them navigate the challenges of rebuilding their marriage and addressing any underlying issues that may have led to the infidelity. Furthermore, Heather asked Ignacio to give up his parental rights to Shawna's baby. Lastly, Heather requested that Ignacio end his relationship with Shawna. Ignacio was eager to save his marriage and agreed to all the conditions Heather proposed. He knew that he had wronged her and was willing to make amends. Ignacio called Shawna and informed her that he was ending their affair. While on the phone with Shawna, Heather, standing nearby, listened to the entire conversation. Moments after Ignacio hung up, a text message arrived on Heather's cell phone. The message contained a picture of Shawna and Ignacio's son, and underneath it were the words IGS Flesh and Blood. Shawna's outrage was fueled by the fact that Ignacio had ended their relationship and decided to remain with Heather. She felt betrayed and abandoned, and her anger boiled over. As a result, she began speaking openly about suing Ignacio for child support, seeking financial retribution for their son, Christian. By the start of 2007, Ignacio and Heather were in midst of repairing their marriage after Ignacio's infidelities. Despite the challenges they faced, the couple was determined to rebuild their relationship and make things work. However, despite Ignacio's efforts to put an end to his affair with Shawna, she continued to harass Heather. The harassment became so bad that Ignacio and Heather had to take drastic measures to protect their family and property. They began parking Heather's car in the garage instead of out on the street, fearing that Shawna might damage their vehicle. Additionally, the couple sought legal assistance and had an attorney send Shawna a formal notice informing her to stay away from Ignacio, Heather, and their daughter Victoria. The notice contained clear instructions to cease any harassment or intimidation. Despite the warnings and consequences, Shawna refused to relent. She continued to harass Heather through text messages, emails, and voicemails, taunting her with nasty and hurtful words. On January 23rd, 2007, just after 6 p.m., Heather was leaving work at the credit union. She was looking forward to going home and spending the night with her daughter. However, Heather's peaceful evening was suddenly disrupted as she exited the building with her co-workers. As they worked on their vehicles in dark parking lot, the group was approached by a person dressed in black, wearing a Halloween mask and brandishing a gun. The gunman was specifically focused on Heather, while others in the group attempted to hide. Pointing the weapon at Heather's head, the gunman told her to get down on her knees. Then, before pulling the trigger, the gunman said, "You ruined my life," and shot Heather 2 times, point blank range, execution style, in the head. After shooting Heather, the gunman ran into a red pickup truck parked nearby and sped away. As Hitler's shooting unfolded, her co-workers and other witnesses in the parking lot called 911. Minutes after Hitler was shot, paramedics arrived on site, but their efforts to save her life were ultimately futile. The gunshot wounds to her head had caused fatal injuries, and Hitler was pronounced dead at the scene. When police officers arrived at the parking lot to secure the crime scene, they discovered that the shooting victim was their co-worker, Otto's wife. Recognizing Hitler as the victim, the officers contacted